Good evening and welcome to Inside Kennedy Football, your weekly look inside the Eagle football program. My name is Josh Powers. Coming up on this edition of Inside Kennedy Football, we'll talk about the Eagles' most recent game against bitter rival Richfield, and we'll also take a look ahead with the head coach, Kedrick Williams, to the Saturday game, the next game for Kennedy upcoming, a 1 o'clock start against Southwest. So let's welcome in the head coach, Kedrick Williams. He just came from practice. So if you're not watching us live, we're recording this on Tuesday. A lot of snow happened today, Kedrick. So how interesting was that practice that you just came from?
It's kind of funny. We did a lot of film review today, Josh. First and foremost, let me thank you for having me and welcoming me and everything. Hello to all of my Eagle faithful. Yeah, it was pretty different out there to snow this early in the season. I was telling the kids that if you've never played in snow football in the snow in Minnesota, you've never played real football. So, it was really exciting. We did get some things done out there. We had a nice little snowball fight for the kids, little team morale, team building as we go into senior week. So,
And normally the snow would be not that late in the season because the start's bumped back. But even if the start wasn't bumped back, it'd still be pretty early in the season for snow. And we expect the temperatures not to uh, go very much higher. I guess my point is you might have to play in a little bit of snow. We'll see what happens by the time you get to Saturday. So I know that's happened before for you. So what are some of the
well, some of the things that we do to prepare for the snow first is get weather acclimated. And you're right. In a normal season, today would have been the first night of the sections. So, we got normally acclimated out there. We got our footing out there today. Got a chance to run around in a little bit, do a little tackle in it a little bit. I explained to the kids, they're not going to stop the game Saturday just for the little couple snowflakes. So we wanted to get the kids a little wet, teach them about going home properly, taking care of themselves, even in a COVID atmosphere, getting their hands washed and their clothes off right away. We did a lot of, film review. Thankfully, our administration allowed us to go into the building today in a safe form, in a safe manner, socially distanced. We had to use about 5 classrooms so that we could spread out in an area of the building that's not used.
All right, coach. Let's talk a little bit about the game against Friday against Richfield. 35-12. Richfield comes out with the win. If you just looked at the box score, you'd look like it was a pretty even game. You guys outgained them yards per play wise, but the 4 turnovers just told the story. They were able to run more plays than you guys on offense and control that clock a little bit.
And Josh, that's really what it was. It was controlling the clock. It was not executing on fourth down for us. But most of all, it was being young. It was being youthful. We continue to play 10 or more sophomores every game. We continue to have a very, very developing quarterback. We had some bad turnovers, Josh, like you said. Some bad
Mhm.
fumble snaps. We had another interception, another pick six off interception. So just a lot of things that we have to clean up with a young team. We knew going into the season that it was going to be rough, even with the schedule that we had. Although it was favorable, not playing youth right now when they're not technically ready to play at that high varsity level, that can hurt. And on Friday, we saw some of that.
So, coach, let's take a look at some of the highlights because you guys did do some good things in this game.
Oh, we have
First and
highlights.
foremost, we do. We first and foremost, a guy that is going to make the highlight reel maybe every week for you guys, Zaire Marshall, takes this one 70 yards to the house. He had the great kickoff return last week for you guys, coach, and here he does it again.
Well, and again, as this Zaire getting behind the defense, uh, when you have a kid who runs a 4.35 40, you can just tell him to get behind the D. Let's chalk it up to him. Nice by Zach to recognize that, to see that he had beat everyone basically. When we asked Zaire what he was doing, because he actually ran the wrong route, his response was simple: Coach, I blacked out. I knew I was faster than them. I just ran past them.
That's never a, that's never a bad thing at all. If you can do that. He certainly has the speed to get that done. But I thought Zach did some good things in this game, Coach. Very efficient, 6 out of 12, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have the couple of interceptions. But overall, for a younger guy, he seems to be coming along. He's one of those younger guys that you need to keep improving week after week.
Really, it is. Although Zach is a junior, he hasn't had any varsity experience, and that's what makes him youthful. So, understanding that it's a long season, no, not as long as normal. We only get 6 games this year, but understanding that Zach is teaching Zach this year to get some of those bad throws out, some of those bad decisions out, so that next year we can even be more successful. Next year is not the same growing pains. It's now you're making good reads. Now you're making great throws. We're not having to worry about the same mistakes.
Let's take a look at the next highlight here, Coach. Zach's going to throw another touchdown here. Marion Hansbart, another guy that he has some experience for you guys. He makes a nice play here, 16-yard touchdown reception for your second score of the game.
Yes, this was a simple route right up the seam right here to Amarian. This is something that we saw on film that we would be able to take advantage of this week. So, another thing with Zaire, there actually was supposed to be his route. And this one, it just shows the unselfishness of the team. Zaire understanding that to get Armani some touches and it's better if we're more of a threat. They switch roles in that situation. And Amarian went up and made an excellent catch. He caught the ball at his highest point. Zach recognized it. So again, just showing little ways that we can get better.
We'll take a look at one more highlight here. This is a defensive highlight, Coach. I thought the defense did some good things. You limited Ryan Miles to 15 out of 34. That's a lot of incomplete balls. This one was not incomplete. It was complete, but it was a great play by Barber for the pick.
Right, Barber saw that. That's something that we had worked on as our pass drops this last week. With Richfield being a 70-30 team, we pass dropped maybe a little too good. It allowed Ryan to get out the pocket and run more, a lot more than I've seen him run in any of his 4 years at Richfield, maybe combined. So, credit Ryan, credit that coaching staff over there, Chris Puford, and those guys over there just for having a great game plan for us. I think that what they did was look back at some of our film from last year, saw that we weren't going to give Ryan the same pass success, much like we took it away last year. This year they had a different game plan for us, and I take my hat off and credit those guys.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll discuss your upcoming opponent. It's a Saturday game for you guys to get an extra day to prepare. Minneapolis Southwest, the opponent. We'll talk about that with the head coach, Kedrick Williams, when Inside Kennedy Football continues. Inside Kennedy Football, the Eagles return back time this year. They will take on Minneapolis Southwest. It's a Saturday start, 1 o'clock. We'll have it live for you on BEC-TV. Again, Saturday, 1 o'clock at Bloomington Stadium, Kennedy and Minneapolis Southwest. And joining me back to preview that in just a moment will be the head coach, Kedrick Williams. Minneapolis Southwest coming in at 1-1 on the season. They're coming off of a 20-6 against St. Croix Lutheran. They defeated Columbia Heights in blowout fashion in week 1 by a score of 29-2. So Minneapolis Southwest can with that loss to Richfield 35-12 at Richfield. So Kennedy will look to get back on the winning way at home. Let's look ahead at Kennedy's upcoming schedule, the remainder of the year for the Eagles as they get, of course, we had Richfield and then Minneapolis Southwest will be the opponent on Saturdays. We do have Kedrick Williams rejoining us. Kedrick, important one for you guys on Saturday against another Minneapolis team. Southwest, you face Washburn in week 1, but a chance to get your first victory of the year on Saturday.
It really is. Shout out to that staff. Southwest is actually one of the first high schools I used to coach at. I went undefeated for 3 years over there, coaching the head junior varsity coach back before I started my career with Kennedy. So that was really exciting. Got a lot of friends over there still in the coaching staff, so looking forward to that. Got a few players that I raised in the Minneapolis League playing over there, so it's going to be exciting, Josh. But like you said, it's going to be our chance for our first victory. Very beatable game, very winnable game, very beatable team. So we're looking forward to that. That's the positive way we're looking at this. It's senior week. We're really promoting and lifting up our seniors this week, and I believe they're going to have a great game on Saturday.
They're coming off of a loss as well, 20-6 against St. Croix Lutheran, and just kind of looking at that game, looking at some of the highlights, it looked like kind of the same story as you guys. That they were right there in
Mhm.
that game, but they had a couple untimely turnovers, and that was the difference in that game. It appeared.
Big time. As you watch the video, that's the same thing. I had a chance to talk to the head coach over there, and what he told me was it was the turnovers. They had outgained St. Croix Lutheran on the ground. They have a fantastic running back in Nick Flatzenkamp. So at Southwest, so they were running the ball pretty well. In the second half, somehow they get away from it. Had some turnovers. They also have a young quarterback and some young kids on their team as well.
Flaskamp had 150 yards in that game against St. Croix Lutheran. Of course, Minneapolis Southwest blew out Columbia Heights in their opener 29-2. But let's take a look at some of their highlights in that Columbia Heights game, Coach, because they did some really nice things in that game that I know caught your attention here. Uh, they can get it done through the air. Here's a nice 25-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, but this is just simple fake bootleg roll out to the right, and he throws it to the back pylon. Credit to that quarterback. He threw it back there. What he read was the safety not being able to get over. So it was more like a one-on-one. That's number one. That's a senior as well for them. So great play by them.
Very versatile team. We mentioned their running back. They can get it done on the ground. Here's another touchdown throw. This one a little bit longer. 43 yards through the air in that season opening win against Columbia Heights.
And again, you saw just another receiver who got behind the defense. Nothing special there. Just like I say, he outran what the defense coverage was. Good recognition by the quarterback to get that up to him.
Then defensively, then pretty stout this year. Obviously, just allowing 2 points to Columbia Heights. You're going to win a lot of football games if you do that. Here they force a turnover.
And again, credit to those guys up front. That was Nick. If you see number 7 getting in there, Nick Flassenkamp, that was him getting in there to give the power punch. Again, great kid, great team. Look forward to playing those guys on Saturday.
With that extra day, you knew that was going to happen when this game got moved a few weeks ago. Is there anything you do with that extra day? You've had that in the past where you've had some Saturdays notably
Well, what
comes
we
to
use it
mind, but
for,
here maybe with all the weather and the snow, what do you usually do with that extra day?
well, we don't usually have it like that this close to sections. So what we did today was, like I said, we had some fun outside in the snow. Usually that's team bonding. Had a little snowball fight. You guys can check that on our Twitter account. We did post that there to see the snowball fight. And just doing things that make it fun. Understanding that although we're playing football, it's not all about football. I tell my guys all the time, I'm raising football players, but better yet, I'm raising young men to be positive people in the community and role models. So that's really what today went to. How do you have fun in the midst of, everything is not going great. We're 0-2 right now. But how do you keep these kids playing? How do you keep the morale up? How do you keep them being a brotherhood? You go out and hit each other in the face with a few snowballs.
I like it. I think in the first segment, Coach, is going to be your senior day. So is that correct? And it's such a unique year. What are some of the words? I know it's early in the year, obviously, but you've been together for a while. So just some early words that come to mind with the senior class that has had to deal with so much already in this year.
You know, I really take it back. Like I gave you an example. Today we had also Youth Jersey Week, Youth Jersey Day. And what I had the kids do was wear their youth jerseys. Because as a senior, you got to understand where it started at. You have to go back to the place it started and why you love this game. What is it about this game that you've learned since then? What has football done for you? Not just what have you done for the game, but what has the game done for you? How's it been important in your life? You know, when we talk about your why, what is your why for coming out in a blizzard? Still coming to practice, still wanting to compete, still wanting to fight for a victory, still wanting to be successful this year. Why didn't you just stay at home and give up today? And that's really the message that we're preaching. What is your why? What is your reason for doing what it is that you do every day?
Last one, Coach, as we preview this game against Southwest, give me a couple keys to victory for you guys or keys that you want to improve on from the first two games that you want to incorporate into Saturday's contest.
Well, I'll go improve first. First and foremost, Chris Martin had a heck of a game as a DN on Saturday, pressuring Richfield's quarterback. We want to see him complete those and turn those into defensive sacks. We want to see more pressure on this quarterback this week than we got on Ryan Miles last week. We want to see in the running game offensively, we want to be run dominant. As dominant as they are, we want to be dominant with Saeed, Sherwood, Deion Barber. We added Marquez Monroe to the backfield. We'll give Zaire Marshall some carries in the backfield this week. We want to be more than one dimensional with a spectacular player. We want to see Amarian Hansford have 5 to 7 catches this week. We want to see more than one person get in the end zone this week. We want to be versatile. This is not just this week, but going forward, we want to see that offensively and defensively, we are making goals, accomplishing goals as we reach towards the section playoffs.
All right, Coach, we're looking forward to it Saturday, 1 o'clock matinee at Bloomington Stadium. Best of luck against Minneapolis Southwest. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, all right?
Thanks, buddy. Bring your snow boots.
I will. I'm going to need them. All right, that's the head coach, Kendrick Williams. Again, Kennedy comes back home on senior day. They'll face Minneapolis Southwest. 1 o'clock start on Saturday, a little bit later. Saturday, 1 o'clock start. We'll have it live for BEC-TV. That'll wrap up the hours. Thanks so long, Jewel Studio.